Hello everybody and welcome back to another banger. We are going to be focused on strategy and calculation, which will lead to beautiful tactics. We are going to be getting all of our puzzles from this book here, and the entire idea is just to take a look at a couple of puzzles that's in this book and solve them. I did a previous video solving these puzzles over the board. I typically enjoy solving these particular puzzles over the board because they're not easy to find, they're not easy to solve whatsoever. They take analysis, they take calculation. Doing them over the board is just a bit more ideal for these kind of puzzles. They're not just like finding tactical patterns, like you don't know the tactical theme. These puzzles are just more strategic. It's not an immediate tactic that's visible. Sometimes it's not a tactic that's visible at all. Sometimes it really comes down to strategy and positional play, and that's why I really enjoy doing the puzzles out of this book here. So right now it is white to move here, and this is the puzzle, and let's see what we could do. First of all, what's the material on the board? Black has a queen, white has a queen, black has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns, white has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Black has 1, 2, 3 minor pieces, white has 1, 2, 3 minor pieces. White has a rook, black has a rook. It looks like black has 1 additional rook than white. Did I set this up correctly, or is white actually a -5 in material? Rook, pawn, pawn, bishop, queen, knight, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, it's set up correctly. So let me just double check one more time, because sometimes it is so frustrating when you try to solve a puzzle and you could have had the answer, but you just had to set up wrong. You know, that's correct. All right, so right now, black, he's up a full rook. It is white to move. Let's see what I could find here. It looks to me like black king isn't safe. This is clearly the focal point. Black is hanging here, here, and here. So even though white is down a full rook, white does have some counterplay because black's king is weak. Black is not developed at all. Let's see, do we have any immediate like attacks on black's king? Oh no, black isn't hanging here, black is hanging here and here. So do we want to get some material, or do we have a better move? Okay, black's up +5 in material. This is like a super ugly position. How do they even get such positions like this? Yeah, because he's not developed. I'm not seeing anything too crazy that white could do here. I know it has something to do with black not being developed though. Check. Pawn takes, bishop takes, check. You take check. Bishop there. In my opinion, white is lost here. So I know there has to be some, for this to be a puzzle, there has to be some beautiful find. But strategically, white is just lost. There has to be some tactic here. Check, pawn takes, bishop takes, queen takes, check. Could it be something like knight to f6? It just seems very much like hope chess to me. Check, pawn takes, check, pawn takes, bishop takes, check, pawn takes, queen takes, and bishop there. Check, I can't make sure just a queen, I know that for a fact. Check, queen takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. Okay, now it goes into like, if I was in the game, what would I play? From down the material. Are we just gonna capture the material back? Or do we want to do something like bishop there, attacking the queen, knight takes, knight takes. Bishop there, attacking the queen, knight takes, knight takes. I have the option to just take the material back. But why would this be a puzzle if that's the best option? It's white to move. That's not even an option, because then you lose a knight too, so that's not even an option. Right now, white is lost, so white has to pull a trick out of his sleeve. He just has to. Because if you just take the material back, you're going to lose it again anyway. So why even bother with it? This king and these pieces, that's all. Oh, here is the focal point. I know it. The knight has to move somewhere for sure. Knight there. That's forcing. Knight to f6 is forcing. Logically, you're going to take with the queen. With the pawn. Bishop takes c6. Pawn takes c6. Check. Unless you put the knight on what? e7, but what does that do? You're just going to take it. Knight to f6, check. Knight f6 is the only forcing move that I see. Knight f6, you actually have to take the knight. And you don't want to take with your queen, because then you leave your rook on a8 unprotected, and therefore you're going to lose it. So you're going to have to take the g pawn. Knight to f6, g takes f6, bishop takes c6, b takes c6, queen takes c6 with check. And then you get your material. Check. You get a knight. I get a knight. Oh yeah, that's how I get some material back. Okay guys, I'm looking at this. The only logical move I see. It may get me my material back. Let's see. Knight to f6. Black gets a knight. I get a knight. Black gets a bishop. Check. Check. I don't see how that's winning though. I really don't. Knight to f6. G takes f6. Bishop takes c6. Pawn takes. Queen takes. Check. Bishop to d7. No, that's crazy. That's not the move. I don't. Knight to f6. You get a knight. I get a knight. You get a bishop. I get a pawn. So you're +7. Then I gotta move. And even if I move with check, then I take the knight. You're +4. So I don't know. Because after queen to e4, bishop just blocks again. Where is he hanging at? Let's see. He's hanging here. Here, and obviously here. I get a knight, you get a bishop, I get a pawn. Now you're +7 with check. Bishop blocks. Then +3 after queen takes. Knight to f6. I am stuck on this knight to f6. That's the only hope that I see for white. Knight to f6. G takes f6. You get a knight, I get a knight. You get a bishop, I get a pawn. Now you're +7 with check. Bishop blocks. Now I get another check. Queen takes, queen takes. Well, I'm gonna be a +3 after all of this. Is that the goal? Okay, that's one idea. At least you get some material back. +3 is better than being a -3 is better than being a -5. But I'm still not seeing it. To me, white is just completely lost here. Let me just see if I got it set up correct one more time. Yep. Knight, bishop, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Bishop, 1, 2. Rook, queen, knight, 1, 2, 1. Yeah. But knight f6 is like the only forcing move that I see, apart from bishop to e7, bishop to e7, knight takes e7, bishop to e7, knight to e7. Oh, I see it, guys. Woo, I was stressed out for a sec. Okay, I see it. Bishop to e7, knight takes e7, wait, bishop to e7, knight to e7, check, get your rook back and your piece. Exactly. I'm looking at bishop to e7. Where are you going with the queen? Unless the queen runs. But where would the queen run to? If knight takes, knight, you get a bishop, but then I get that check. I get my rook back. You get a bishop. I get my rook back. You get a knight. I get a knight. You're still a +3. Bishop there. Let's say knight took. You get a bishop. I get a rook that I'm already down. I get a knight, but you get a knight. So I don't know. That's not the move. I'm not seeing that as the move, guys. I am not seeing this. Knight to c7, check. Queen takes. Bishop takes, check. Pawn takes. White is just lost, if you ask me. If I'm playing, I'm getting my material back. He's just lost. White is lost. What are we gonna do? Play a move like queen to c5? Yeah, this is a dumbass puzzle. White is lost. White should just resign. Try not to give up on this puzzle, y'all. This is the dumbest puzzle ever. White's down a full rook. He's down a full rook. Okay? I don't see anything immediate. Maybe knight f6. White jumps into f6 there. Pawn takes. Bishop takes, you take, queen takes, check. But after the bishop blocks, you check again. Then what? That don't add up to me. So he's he's down in significant material. There's something on the king, but I'm not seeing it. It's something on the king and his hanging pieces. Is it knight f6 check? You take queen to h6? That's an idea. Check, pawn takes, queen to h6. I know it's something to do with Black's king and his hanging pieces over there. That's the only counterplay that White has. The only counterplay. Okay, so knight to f6, g pawn takes, queen to h6, What you gonna do? Oh, okay. But I'm still not always sure if that works. Knight to f6, pawn takes, queen h6, threatening queen to g. Seven. f6, pawn takes, queen h6. Knight there. Queen there, rook there. And that kind of stops that. So knight go there. We're going to do bishop takes, followed by bishop check. Or bishop takes, knight f6, pawn takes, queen to h6, knight to e7, bishop takes c7, queen takes c7, queen to g7. But then he's protected because there's no longer a bishop there. This is odd. This is a dumb puzzle. I hate this puzzle so much. Ay ay ay. Knight to e7. It got to be knight f6. That's the only forcing move. Knight f6. Pawn takes. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. Queen takes with check. Yeah, I'm already lost. If this was my game, I'm already lost. -5 material. I'm playing knight f6. That's the move. I don't really know what happens from there. Let's see what was the move in the book. Knight f6. Knight f6 is the move. Now, I know knight f6 is the move because it's the only, see? Puzzle 16, knight f6 is the move, but that doesn't mean I see the line fully through. But I said in one of my most recent videos, sometimes you don't got to see it all the way through. Sometimes you just know, right? If I'm in a game, as dumb as this puzzle is to me, knight f6 is the only forcing move. There's no point in trying to win a material back, because if you try to win a material back, he'll just pick up this, so you won't get the material back. You're -5 in material, so now you have to play to your only counters that you have. And the only counters that white has is king safety and these hanging pieces here, which is this rook and these two pawns, and obviously this knight. But like I said, you can't take the knight back automatically because that won't do anything. He's just going to take it back and you're completely lost in this position. Now, a move like knight f6 forces black to respond because you are in check. You're in check. And your king can't move. That's a problem. If your king can't move, it can't go here because of the knight, can't go here because of the bishop, okay, it can't go here because of the bishop, and obviously this piece is blocking it. So after this check, what will black do? Black doesn't want to take with the queen, because if you take with the queen, I say check, and then you have to take back, and then I call check again, and then I win a rook. So you don't want to take with the queen. Now this was the line that I was calculating, but I saw if you take with the pawn, which is his only choice, because again, queen takes. If queen takes, bishop takes, check, you got to take back. Or you could block here, but then I'll take. If queen takes, bishop takes, check, you could block. That's an option. But if you block, I'd probably pick up this pawn and bring my queen down. So you probably have to take with this pawn. Yeah, you got to take with the pawn. I saw knight f6, but from this position, I'm not sure. If we take here, pawn takes, queen. This was what I was calculating. Queen takes, check. Then you just block the queen. What the queen gonna do? Drop back here? Yes, that's checkmate. That is the line. See, guys, sometimes it's really about only seeing one move ahead. But I found it. I found that f6. I found the correct move. It was just I had a difficult time seeing it all the way through. You don't want to go queen h6 trying to get in here. Because after queen h6, the knight could come here. And then once you move the queen here, the rook could just come here. And that's protecting one another. So I think after this, the correct move is bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes with check. That is nasty. Now that's nasty. That's nasty. I found knight f6. I did find knight f6, but I ain't see it all the way through. But sometimes it's about just finding the first correct move. Knight f6 was definitely the first correct move, because now from here it's pretty much easy. So in that position, white was completely lost. You gotta play it. If bishop plays here, blocking it, but that ain't mate though. You got check. The bishop blocks again. It ain't mate. It's still not mate. So how do we remove the bishop? Okay, you can at least draw. I think you're supposed to get a draw out of this, right? Because you were in a completely lost situation. You're down so much material. I think the idea here is just draw by repetition. So let's see what the book says. We already know it says white has to save the game with a drawing combination. Guys, I am getting better at chess. Let's just put that all together. Let's just say I am definitely getting better at chess. Do you guys see what I just did? Like, come on now. Come on. Come on now. I got a little frustrated with this puzzle because I knew there was nothing. And that's the good thing about the puzzles from this book. Like, it's challenging. It's not something that's immediate. You know, it's not a puzzle. These puzzles are not immediate. It takes deep analysis. It takes deep calculation. Because the thing is that white in this position, white is completely lost. There's no way that white is winning this game. And I said that. I'm like, man, white is completely lost. What the hell is he going to play? He's lost. White is lost. He's a -5 in material. Even if he tries to be like, you know what, I'm just going to get my knight back and just be down in exchange. No, because then he'll just pick up a knight. So you'll still be a -5 in material. Period. So in that case, when you're -5 in material, you are lost. Strategically wise, white is lost. The only counterplay that white has is black's poor king safety, and black has some pieces hanging. Right? So we have to play on that. We have to play on, but more specifically, he got some pieces hanging, so we could look into that. But more specifically, I found the move knight f6 due to black's poor king safety here. Okay? And again, I got frustrated with this puzzle because I'm like, what? There is not a great move for white. But if I'm in this game, I'm definitely not taking the material back, because taking the material don't do nothing for me. I'm lost. So we have to play to our counter, which is black's poor king. So a move like knight f6, that's how I found it. Knight f6. Okay? He has to take back. He doesn't want to take with the queen because he's going to lose some material. And then if he takes with the pawn, then you get the beautiful bishop captures check. He takes, and then you get check, and then he has to keep blocking with this whole, and then it's a draw by perpetual check when you were completely lost. So that's really, really good. I found that whole thing because white's only counterplay was black's king safety, and of course black has some hanging pieces, but we can't quite get to him because white's position is so bad. But white's only real counterplay was king safety, and that's how I found the move knight f6. Okay, sometimes you only need to find the first move. You know, I got frustrated with this puzzle, but I'm like, if I'm playing this game, I'm playing the move knight f6. That's the only counterplay that I have. So you have to play to your counterplay, right? And then let's say that he did take with the queen. It would be, yeah, you can't take with the queen, right? Because then you just lose significant material. And now white, who was once losing, is now winning the game. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you can't even, yeah, that's me. So you can't take with the queen. You have to take with the G pawn. So, guys, I found the move, knight f6. Knight f6, and you have to and you have to draw this game. That's a beautiful combo. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting pretty frustrated. Like, oh my goodness, this position is just lost for white. It's lost for white. But sometimes I think that, like I always say, the important thing with these puzzles is if you cannot find the move, if we're not absolutely positive about the move, we have to ask ourselves, what would I play if this was my game? And the way that I found knight f6 is that's the only move that I would play if this was my game. Like, the only move, because material wise I'm lost. I have no point in taking this knight. And then strategically I am completely lost. So I have to play to the only counter that I have, which is black's king safety. And even if I can't see the line all the way through, I know that right now, black has a problem with king safety. I got this bishop on this diagonal, and this is a very, very forcing move to my only counterplay. Because the thing is if I don't play it, I'm going to lose anyway. If I don't play it, I'm going to lose anyway. So sometimes it's one move at a time. Like, literally, check. I know the queen can't take back, because if the queen take back, he loses material, right? Check, and then you're going to block, and then I'm pick up all these pieces. And you're going to get mated. So I know you have to take with the g-pawn. And then from there, bishop takes, you take, check. Bishop comes here, and then draw the game by perpetual check. And that's how I found the move, guys. One move at a time sometimes, and that really, really could work out in solving difficult positions, puzzles, lost positions, whatever the case may be. So I found the move, knight f6. But it was frustrating, and that's the powerful thing about this book. The answers are not always game winning. You don't know what you might get out the position. You just got to find the best move, and sometimes the best move is just one move at a time. So I did that. Checkmate. Or that's a draw by perpetual check. That's really good stuff there. These puzzles are not at all easy. That one was quite frustrating. As you guys could see, it took about 30 to 40 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.